This is Chris from Reaper Fishing, New Jersey. Thanks so much for tuning back in. Today I'm going to give you guys an honest review on the Avet SXJ 5.3 and how it's held up on 2 full seasons out on my Reaper boat. So check it out. All right, Reaper team, let's just take a quick external look at this reel and just see how she's held up over the last 2 seasons here in the Northeast, getting beat up on our Reaper boats. You can see not a whole lot of corrosion on the frame itself. There's a little bit on this side that you can see, but yeah, not too much. There's definitely a crack you can see here in the collar that joins the reel handle to the knob itself. A couple dings in the knob, but that's held up really well. This clicker has definitely been pretty well corroded. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't travel well anymore. Along here, this is the reel seat where it clips into the rod. We actually had Zach's fall off on his. I don't know if the bolts came loose or what have you, but yeah, that was only I think on like the first time that he actually used his. But overall, mine's held up really quite well, except for the clicker getting pretty well corroded. We'll take this apart and I'll show you the internal gears and how they've held up. But from an external standpoint, yeah, all looks pretty good. So the overall specifications on this reel, again, it's the Avet SXJ 5.3. So the difference between the SXJ and the SX, so Avet came out with the J, it's just a narrower spool, so it has a little bit less line capacity. I got the J because I didn't really need all the line capacity for what I was using this for here in the Northeast. So overall, it's a one-piece aluminum frame construction. It's made out of what's called T6 marine grade anodized aluminum. So again, you can see here it's held off corrosion pretty darn well up here in the Northeast. On the side, you can see here, so we're in free spool now. At strike, you got 9 pounds of drag, and at full, you're actually dealing with 14 pounds of drag. So again, 9 pounds at strike, 14 pounds at full, so that's pretty good. So let's back her back down into free spool, and she spins super freely there. You can see that'll go forever. Inside, the actual gears are stainless steel. So go ahead and we'll take this apart and I'll show you them. The clicker's on the side here. Let's get that sucker going. Nice loud clicker. One of my cons is I don't like how the small distance that this clicker travels to tell you that it's actually engaged. I'm not a fan of that. Mine's pretty well corroded. Zach's actually fell out on his first trip, so definitely a con on that front. Positive here, so it's got nice big reel handle, nice big reel knob, so boom, when you go to set that hook, you know, you're really able to grab that knob quite easily. The anti-reverse on this, it's a dog system, so boom, you can hear that sucker all there. It's got minimal travel until it gets into that anti-reverse. So when you set that hook, there's no mistaken that you're not going anywhere, and that's what I really like about this reel, specifically for the tog fishing that I do here in these wrecks. You give them an extra 6 inches and boom, you lose them. The gear ratio is obviously 5.3 to 1, so for every turn of the handle, you're actually bringing up 30 inches of line. So pretty neat. From a line capacity standpoint, you're looking at 350 yards of 20-pound braid, 300 yards of 30-pound braid, and 230 yards of 50-pound braid. From a weight standpoint, this sucker is only 12 ounces. You can see it fits right in the palm of my hand, so super light. I'd imagine you could jig with this all day, no problem. So yeah, there's all the specifications on the reel. All right, Reaper team. So it should be just 3 screws right here to get this bad boy off. So let's see the condition of the internal gears. I'm curious. So we've got the screws off, so it just slides right out there. All right, so what you can see is looks like there's definitely some corrosion on that inside there. I can see now probably why that clicker's not working all that great. There's definitely a lot of corrosion there, so I'll go ahead and lube that up. I'll probably get parts to replace it, but yeah, I'll clean this all up, no big deal. Inside, somehow I have some dirt and sand in there. I don't use this thing where we're around any sand, so that's kind of interesting. But the stainless steel gear there looks awesome. I'm not going to take this all apart right now. I'm not really dedicated right now to tear down this entire reel. I just wanted to show you guys my review of this sucker. But yeah, I'll take this all apart and lube it on up. I won't be using this all that much the rest of the season, so we got time. But I can see the other stainless steel gear inside there, and that looks just fine. So just a little bit of wear and tear, nothing major. You can see the gears down there really ultimately look pretty good as well. So yeah, so that's good. So I'll clean this up just a hair, put it all back together, and we'll wrap things up. All right, Reaper team, so we've got it all back together. We still haven't talked price yet. On Avet's website, the suggested retail is $189.99. You can actually get it right here at Tackle Direct for $170.99. So I guess they're running a sale on it. So uses of this Avet. So up here in the Northeast, I bought this reel specifically for tall tog fishing or blackfish. I needed something that was super sturdy, super strong, with an anti-reverse that's not going to fail on you, and a drag that's not going to slip, and it's going to be exactly where you have it set on the lever. You know what I mean? So I know if I'm at strike, I'm getting 9 pounds, and I know if I'm at full, I'm getting 14, no more, no less. So that's one of the reasons why I got it up here. I was using some of the more lower end stuff, and you know, that anti-reverse slips a little bit, that drag just gives a little bit, and you give that tog 4 inches and he's in the wreck and you're done. But uses down, you know, in Florida where I used to live, I think this would be great for deeper water bottom fishing, snapper, grouper, AJs, all that stuff down there. And then I think also you could, I'm telling you right now, if you give me this reel and tie me into a 50-pound yellowfin tuna chumming or chunking, I'm pretty confident I could get them. When we are fishing our inshore lumps here in the Northeast for tuna, we're using live baits and dead baits, and we're usually using 30 to 40 pound leader, so we can't moose them any more than 10 to maybe 12 pounds of drag anyway. And having this lightweight sucker in my left hand, I think I could really just settle in on the fight and catch some tuna with it. My buddy Josh uses it for everything. I think he's got the same exact reel, and he uses it up here for tog, sea bass, mahi-mahi, and tilefish. So I didn't even mention that you could use this tile fishing as well. So my cons, the clicker we talked about. Again, I think the distance should be a little bit longer to make it easier that you know that the clicker's on. My clicker corroded. Zach's clicker actually fell off on a Delaware tog trip, so I certainly did not like that. Another con is the actual reel seat just fell right off. I don't know if the bolts were loose or what have you, but I think that was the first time he'd ever used the reel. And then the other thing too, Zach had ordered his reel from one of our local shops here, and Avet literally didn't have them in stock, this specific reel in stock, and it took them months to make enough to supply all the orders. So I wasn't a fan of that. Another pro is it's made in the US, I love that. And another pro is the tuna on the side. So yeah, I guess my overall impression of the reel has got to be kind of mixed, just based on Zach's negative experience that he's had with his. But then you combine that with my positive experiences and Josh's positive experiences, and I guess it kind of creates mixed reviews. But yeah, for me, a little bit more corrosion that I would like to see on the interior side of it. But again, I don't care for my reels as well as others do. And I beat them up pretty good. So you get, that's probably part operator error, and I'm okay accepting that. It is what it is. But for as much as I beat these reels up, this reel performance-wise, excuse me, has never let me down. I catch some real big tog, some big black sea bass, hauling in 10, 12, 14, 16 ounces of weight, 200 foot of water, 10 pounds of sea bass on the end of the line, or the strain of a 12-pound tog, and this sucker's never let me down. So personally speaking, performance-wise, it's been great. The negatives we went over, the pluses we went over. So I guess a mixed grade just based on Zach's negative experience. But I mean, personally, I can't say for 180 bucks that it's not a good buy. I mean, she's never let me down, and I'm pretty confident if I just clean it up on the inside, lube it up, I'll get 5 to 10 more years of flawless performance out of it. So a good lesson of just taking better care of your reels. Again, I'm always in a hurry. I don't have a chance to always clean them as well as they should and lube them as well as they should. But that's my fault. I'm willing to accept the consequences. But yeah, treat your reels a little bit better than me. That's another teaching point. But again, I'm always in a rush. But anyway, I hope that helps you guys. I'll do some more product reviews. I'm always buying fun stuff. So guys, as always, hit that like button, subscribe, ding that silly bell. I haven't been fishing much, unfortunately. Every day I'm off, the wind's just howling, or I'm in the midst of, pouring rain. And I also hurt my left Achilles, so I can barely walk right now. So I'm on non-weight bearing duty right now. So hopefully I heal up quick. The big boat's in the water, the little boat's ready to roll. I'll get you guys some new fishing action real soon. And yeah, team, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you out on the water.